Okay, so a lot of people are wanting to know what my experience with the earthquake was like. And since I'm too lazy to type stuff and have to send it to several people, I figured I'd make a video. And this will hopefully kick off my awesome blog, which I keep talking about starting but never do. Which you should subscribe to, just in case I ever actually do start my blog. But okay, let's start. So I was on a train when the earthquake happened. The train came to a stop and I did not realize it was an earthquake for a while. I just figured it stopped because there's something on the tracks, like a cow or something. And then it just started to sway back and forth, which I figured was just due to the resonance of the train after the stop. I only really realized it was an earthquake after I looked out the window of the train and saw people getting out of their houses and praying in the street. And that's when I realized it was an earthquake. So that's my second earthquake now, and the first time I thought it was just my neighbors doing it. So I think this is a good sign that if there's an earthquake, I'll probably be too slow to figure out what to do, that it is an earthquake until it's too late. Um, so I'm on the train, the earthquake's happening, and I'm probably pissing off all the Japanese people because once again, this is really my first earthquake. The one before was I don't think it really even counts because it was just like a couple seconds long and very small. But so I figured Japan had a lot of earthquakes. It was kind of normal, so I was actually kind of enjoying it. Had a big smile on my face. Unknowingly to me, this was not usual for them, so they're all freaking out and probably pissed off because there's me with a big smile on my face. Um, so I was stuck on the train about an hour. After that, got to the station um, and started biking to work. And I saw all the shops along the way had most of them had their lights off and had their doors open, which is what you're supposed to do, just to make sure if something falls or the hinge gets warped, you don't get trapped in your own house. Um, but everything was left open with no one in it, and I figured only in Japan would this work, because I'm pretty sure if you do this in North America, people would be looting all over the place. So I got to class, found out it was canceled, locked up the class, got back to the train. So this whole time, I'm still not really sure of how severe this is. The only thing I've really noticed, because nothing broke, nothing I saw broke, but the only thing I noticed was a couple parts of the city I biked through had lost power, but not the whole city. But I got to the train station, found out the trains weren't running, so I figured it would start in a couple hours. I still didn't get the gravity of how big it was, but waited for a while there. They eventually kicked us out, closed the doors, and told us we wouldn't be able to go anywhere that night. So me and this other guy walked around for a bit. We eventually stayed at a restaurant for about 3 hours. And thankfully, someone who I barely know, a new friend, was really nice and ended up driving down there, picking us up and driving back, which was also nice considering with the power outage, there's some very scary driving with like no real good visibility. But everything worked out. Got home about 10 p.m. No power, no hot water in the house. Just a little bit of things falling over, a little bit of scratches on the floor, which is in my other video I'll make about what my house is like in Japan. Another question a lot of people have been asking. So me and this other guy, we ended up figuring nothing else to do. We used my laptop, which still had some battery power, and watched a Ghibli movie, or started to watch a Ghibli movie, and had some beers. First off, if you don't know what Ghibli is, it's apparently the Japanese version of Disney, and it's really awesome, and you should go look it up. Apparently they're they're good for kids, and they're good for adults too. Apparently they're just beautifully made. So I don't know this so much from experience, but I've heard it from enough people to assume it's true. So look up Ghibli. Second thing, probably not the best thing to be drinking in case a severe aftershock happens. We get trapped, drinking beer probably helps you get dehydrated a little bit faster. Not so good for the survival, but that's the way we are, I guess. So went to bed. Woke up around, I think, 1 for a big aftershock. And like there's aftershocks happening pretty much every half hour after the quake, more or less. There's actually one happening right now. It's so subtle, though, you can't really see it. I have a glass of water in case it does get good enough you can see it, I'll show you what it looks like, but there's just very little shakes going on. So the one around midnight or 1 was big enough that I actually thought it was worth jumping out of bed and going under my door frame to brace myself. Apparently there's a bigger one at 4 a.m., but I slept through that, so no worries there. And then I woke up, had power, heat, and the day off work, so it's been pretty relaxing today, nothing too big. Just taking it easy and really getting informed, I guess. Only this morning did I get a real scope of how bad it really was, because I didn't have internet or power, TV, and my iPhone wasn't working. So I guess as it went on, the day went on, I found out more and more about how serious it was. But only this morning did I really get a true realization of how bad it was. And that's the story. Okay. Sayonara.